Why hello there, dear listener. I am your host, Erwin Blackthorn, and this is the Dirty Lore House podcast, coming at you with all the deliciously nutty, dirty lore. Today I have a guest called Fed, but we're not even going to call him that. And today we're going to talk about trends in the media. And whatever else that we want to talk about. So, what do you want to start with?
I don't know, man. You're the host. Okay. So, the Batwoman, man, that show was a fucking framework, was it not?
Wait, Batwoman?
Damn. Yeah, Batwoman. It's been a long time since we've heard about that, yeah?
I never actually watched it.
I personally think you should, sir. It is a very good show. It was interesting. I got sucked into the plot. Very irritating. But, if you hate watch it, it's something fun to laugh at, get drunk, have friends, that type of thing.
Damn.
We personally had a drinking game, me and my buddies. Every time a stereotype shows up, you take a shot. My friend Jake, he died of alcohol poisoning in the first 5 minutes. It was very sad. But, we had the game must go on and all. So
he did it for the meme.
I think it was good. Yeah. His brother, he has to take around like a fucking septic tank with wherever he goes now. Yeah, he has fucking liver poisoning, but it was worth it,
I think the current trend of superhero shows is really dumb. I think that's going to kill superheroes, honestly. Have you seen any other superhero shows besides Batwoman, like on Netflix? I don't know if you have Netflix, but...
Absolutely. I could tell you way too much about superhero shows. I have a younger sister, so she loves... and I mean loves superhero TV shows. So I had the pleasure of sitting through and watching every goddamn episode of every single one. I know way too much about it. I can't wait to tell you.
Like which one?
All of them. Just fucking pick a random one out of the lineup, and I could probably tell you way too much about it.
Okay, did you ever see Jupiter's Legacy?
Okay, that one I did not see. What the fuck is that?
It was on Netflix, and it starts off really boring, and it continues to be very fucking boring, and then they just don't do anything by the end, and then that's the first season.
Is that like...
They never got it renewed or anything.
That DC Marvel, or is that like independent Netflix?
Oh, shit. Who's that guy? It's based off a comic from that famous guy. Where? Let me look for it. Jupiter Legacy.
What about Jupiter Ascending? Have you seen that?
That's like the Matrix, but in space, right?
No, it was written by the people who made the Matrix, but it had nothing to do with the Matrix. It was just really stupid.
No, it was totally like the Matrix, because like the what's her name? I want to say Miranda Cosgrove. No, what's her name?
I don't remember.
Jackie Burkhart from That 70s Show. What's her fucking name? Mila Kunis. And then she's like,
I think she was in it.
She finds out that she's actually like a princess from space. And then so Thor, and he like whisks
yeah,
away.
And there's this like wolf guy, yeah, Space Wolf and Space Wolf's dad, and they're like, yeah, this is so awesome. He's like muscular. Was that Channing Tatum? I feel like that was Channing Tatum. Was that him?
That was Thor. That was
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris Hemsworth is
Chris Hemsworth. That's that guy, but he's in space. So like Thor comes in, he saves the day, and then he takes her away from Earth over to Jupiter. And then there's like some kind of weird like DNA thing going on in Jupiter where like the people live forever, but they're like dying off from some kind of weird disease or like some kind of genetic problem where they can't have sex or something.
What the fuck? I haven't watched that far into the movie.
Dude, it's one of those crazy movies where like you're just watching it and you just don't pay attention. But Jupiter's Legacy is made by Mark Miller. Have you heard of that name?
No.
He made Kick-Ass, Wanted, Kingsman. Kingsman.
Like the Kingsman or like the franchise?
Kingsman, the Secret Service.
Oh, the second one. Oh shit.
That movie where like those like agents, they're like fighting against that one chick, and the chick, she has like these like legs made of metal. She's called Giraffe or something.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, the first one or the second one.
That guy, he makes this. He made the comic for this other show called Jupiter's Legacy, and the whole show is about a superhero family being dysfunctional. Like, what would you call it? Like an like a Married with Children, but with superheroes.
No, I've never watched that
So,
ever.
the synopsis says, some guy's father commits suicide in 1929, triggered by something called Black Thursday. So they receive superpowers. He creates a team called the Union of Justice, and he says, don't kill anybody, and never interfere with political matters. And then the son of that guy, he goes ahead and kills somebody, and he starts to interfere with political matters. And then all heck breaks loose, right?
Typical Adam and Eve story, yeah?
Yeah, he kills one of the greatest foes and ignites a public debate over whether those ideals are still relevant. So it tries to be like really deep, but it's like the most boringest show you've ever seen in your life.
I don't think I've ever seen a show as boring as you're describing. Oh, maybe. I think I have. I've seen pretty boring shows. Defenders was pretty boring.
I haven't seen anything from Marvel for like ever since Endgame came out.
This was before Endgame. This was way before Endgame. This is 2014, dude. Wait. Why do I know more about this than you, Mr. Comic Man?
That was a mini series. I mean, I've heard of it, but I never saw it. Oh wait, what the fuck? It's a mix of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage, and Iron Fist.
Yeah, Luke Cage wasn't that bad.
Wait a minute. So all these characters, they had their own shows, and then they all combined to be the Defenders.
Yeah. This is it's kind of like a crossover where they all are together briefly. You know, it's like, how do I explain this? All the plot threads that have been laid down in other shows, they kind of connect and they lead up to this point where they find this underground, secret organization. People want to live forever, whatever, and all these ties they all come together, and this is kind of climax of that. And afterwards, in their respective seasons, they kind of go about their separate ways, but the effects of Defenders kind of affects the entire thing. It's hard to explain.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's the same thing like Avengers, where they had like all those movies about the individual heroes, and then they merged it together to make the Avengers. Yeah,
it didn't try to beat Avengers, kind of, but it definitely did have that sort of, like, hey, let's team up and do all the things.
And apparently the Hand is a villain? Wait, who's the main villain? Who's the main villain of the Defenders?
The Hand. Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, then Elektra.
Weaver is the main villain?
Yes, and then Elektra's the main villain, and then, I don't know, it just gets really fucking dumb. That being said, it's definitely not the worst thing Netflix has put out.
No, definitely not. Netflix has put out some garbage, but, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just it looks like there's almost nowhere to go after that, It's one of those things where, like, sure, we got this, but then what comes after this? The current phase of the Marvel movies. Because you know how that, like, the Marvel movies, they come out in phases?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's like, there's, I don't know. I'm not even.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out, like, in a year from now. Thor, Love Thunder, Doctor Strange, Eternal...
Love and Thunder.
Captain Marvel 2, ooh, aren't you excited to watch that one?
I didn't even watch the first one.
Loki is getting his own movie? Or no, that already happened. Oh, he got his own show.
No, he got his own, gay television show.
She-Hulk.
That kind of ruined his character.
She-Hulk is getting a show or a movie? On Disney Plus. Is Michelle Obama playing She-Hulk?
Is that a real thing? Get the fuck out. No fucking way.
No, I'm just making a joke. No, it's someone called Tatiana Maslany. Some Mexican/white girl, probably.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They got into
Polish, Romanian, Ukrainian. So she was like, oh yeah, she also speaks some Spanish. There you
go. Yeah,
it's some Canadian hoe.
Damn, dude, you had to do her like that, man.
She's a hoe. What can I do?
You don't know that.
The second part for Disney, you're a hoe. That's the rule.
I don't think Gina Carano's a hoe. I think she's pretty based.
She got kicked out. She was at like stage. What's the cancer stage? Is it like stage 1? She was like stage 1 hoe. Like not danger. No danger yet. It's not. She's not. She's not gonna die yet of her hoe levels.
Hoe levels.
Her hoe levels. Her hoe meter is not that filled. Okay. But there is a Blade movie coming out, and I do kind of want to see that. Although, who's going to be Blade? Going to be Chris Rock again, like how he was in Spiral? I don't know if they have the person announced yet. Mahershala Ali. And he was from Moonlight.
I did not see that film. I heard it was very gay.
I'm pretty sure it's very gay, and I don't really care for that kind of movie because I'm neither gay nor black nor into that kind of like really dumb movie, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it's understandable. I mean, there's a lot of non-gay people who watch Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, but they're the people who want to be gay but aren't willing to put a dick in their ass for it, you know?
I mean, there are a lot of gay people out there who don't engage in that type of penetrative sexual activity.
But they want to.
Tons of them. No, some people like that. Some people
Just
don't.
imagine saying that, like, I'm straight, but I don't want to put my dick in the pussy.
That's kind of understandable at this point.
You know what I mean,
like,
though? That was like me when I was like a
understandable.
teenager. I'll be like, I don't want to like really have sex with a girl. I just want to kiss them or something, you know, something.
Okay, that sounds just like, yeah, I'm straight, but
you know what I mean? That's like when you're like 12 or
gay,
11.
bro?
You're like, I don't think about having sex with them. I just want to kiss them or something.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's go fucking play Destiny 2 on Xbox 360, bro.
just want to
Sex,
like, play a video game with a
just
girl and kiss them sometimes, once in a while, every Thursday, you know?
Yeah, every Thursday. Nothing gay about that at all. It definitely straight energy emanating from you, sir. Not a gay thing to say. Yeah, I like women, except for the part that really makes them a woman. If we could just do away with that, it doesn't even need boobs or feminine characteristics. Honestly, I'd settle for a dude at this point, But
like, I wouldn't mind if she had like a hairy
not
chest and like
technically
big
dude.
strong arms and like
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I swear, I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. I'm not gay, I swear. You sure, bro? That sounds pretty gay. Nah, I'm not gay. Nah, I like women.
Only
I don't like dudes.
only the Sith deals in absolutes.
Yes. See, Erwin, you're a very base dude. You are a flat chest respecter, and I respect that.
Yeah, flat as justice.
Yes. Not for real, but you do sound very, very gay when you said that.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about like 12-year-old me when I like.
Hopefully it'll feel that way now, man, because because it's like, god damn. Yeah.
I asked a wife. She always calls me gay.
Well, wait, whoa. Your wife calls you gay?
No, just as a way to like, what do you call that? Demasculate the man.
Emasculate them? Like, who calls who gay? Emasculate who? What?
No, when the woman calls the man gay, it's so that the woman can get something that she wants, and then for the man to go, "Oh, I'm not gay. I'll prove it." You know.
Listen, I reject that. Okay, because I'm gonna flip it around. Okay, what if I'm with a girl, and I want to bang her, but she doesn't want to bang me, so I'm like, you don't want to sleep with me? What are you, fucking lesbian or something?
That's what
I want to
know.
No, that's not a bad thing. That's a legitimate question, right? Because if you're gay, right, I'm not going to tell anybody. Just tell me right now, so we don't have to waste each other's time. Okay? Because if you're gay, that's fine. But I like my women to be straight. So let's just get this thing out of the way, okay? If you're gay, you can go our separate ways. In this early before I have 3 fucking months and dead. How about that? Yeah. Why is it bad for the woman to do that? Be like, hey, you're gay. That's fine, but I want to date a dude who's not gay.
Listen, men
I want
have
to date
the
a dude
power.
who likes me.
Men are part of the patriarchy, and especially straight men. But if you're a gay man, wait, I forget. Is a gay man below the woman in the oppression Olympics?
I don't.
Is a gay man below the woman in the oppression Olympics? Like, is a gay person more oppressed than a woman is? You gotta Google these things. You gotta.
That's circumstantial. Does he suffer from gender dysphoria?
Are women more oppressed than the gays? Lesbians more accepted than gay men around the world? Okay, that means that women are oppressing the gays. But then somebody else says there's misogyny among the gay men. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Sexuality pay gap. Oh, why did I Google this?
Yeah, why do you use Google? Google is
because that's where you get the leftist propaganda, so you can see what the left are talking about. And apparently I got 3 different fucking answers when I just asked one thing.
That's the internet for you, buddy.
Dude, when earlier we were talking about Vosh attacking J.K. Rowling. This is it. This is the gay versus the women.
Vosh isn't gay, is he?
He considers himself I think he said that he is pansexual. I think that's what he called himself.
That's just bisexual, and
With
which
extra
really
steps,
just
yeah, I
means
know. But yeah, he's willing
yeah,
to fuck anything that looks like a hole that he can put his dick through. So even a CD case or like a pencil sharpener or whatever the fuck he wants to put his dick into.
yeah. He likes to fuck everything. He likes to get fucked by everything. That is Vosh, notorious bad dragon owner over there.
He'll get one of those what's it, like those squishy tubes of like goo. He gets like one of those, puts it like in the toilet paper roll. He fucks the shit out of it.
What the fuck?
Like those...
Yeah, something about that just doesn't sound right.
Okay, so what's a trend that you liked from what's like a trend that you really like?
That I personally liked.
Yeah, personally.
Listen, I do not like trends. If something is trending, then by definition, I don't like it.
Okay, what's a movie style that you liked from before? Like, in the 90s, they had the gothic thing with, like, The Crow, like, with Blade. What else was there? Underworld, you know?
Yeah. I listen, I like movies, and I like individual pieces. I don't like trends or genres on a whole, you know?
It doesn't have to be on the whole. It's an aesthetic that you prefer.
I mean, I can't really name an aesthetic that I personally
Or like a trope,
favor.
then you go from the trope to the aesthetic that's connected to. Like for me, I like the gothic thing from the 90s. Yeah, it's like a urban gothic, whatever you want to call it, urban fantasy thing.
Urban fantasy. Yeah, I wasn't alive back then.
Alright, name a couple movies you liked from when you were growing up. Something that makes you feel nostalgic.
Something that makes me feel nostalgic.
Like a movie that you go, oh fuck, this is like my style. This is my jam. This makes me feel turned.
What the fucking white ass word? Yeah, bro. This music totally gets me like super hype, bro.
This makes
man,
me
this music.
This makes me feel
yeah,
rambunctious.
Yeah, man.
This is bringing out the inner ghetto in me, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah, bringing out that
bringing in my inner hood rat.
I remember when I was 13, I watched Terminator. I very much liked that film.
The first one?
Oh yeah.
So you like that? You like the robot thing from it, the time travel, or do you like that enemy that you can't really defeat?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Erwin. I like films about killing people.
And so you like action films.
That's what I like.
Slasher films. You like the Freddy versus Jason, like the Nightmare on Elm Street. The
thing that I liked about Terminator was grounded in reality somewhat. It wasn't completely unkillable, right? It wasn't some paranormal bullshit.
He was just really powerful because he was from the future and he was a robot.
Yeah. And there was something in there that really spoke to the subconscious fear of Americans at the time. You know, that initial scene where he finds Sarah Connor in the nightclub, right? And Kyle Reese is there, and he just walks in like nothing, and time slows down. Like the music stops, time slows down. And he's like pulling out this gun. He's getting ready to kill this woman. Then Reese comes out of nowhere, fucking like puts a 12 gauge in his gut. Savior. Right. I'm not gonna say it's like a white savior in particular.
The white man saved the white woman. Do you know how sexist this movie is that you're explaining?
I mean, it is about as no. Sarah Connor is the opposite of sexist, right? Sarah Connor is one of the poster childs for strong women in film.
Did I tell you about that? Where the girl Zoe Kravitz, the Catwoman in the new Batman movie, she literally did that thing that I just did in an interview.
It doesn't surprise me that these people would say something like that.
Yeah, like Robert Pattinson, the Batman guy, formerly known as Twilight guy. He was talking about Final Fantasy VII. He was explaining the story and like the relationship that Cloud has with Aerith and Tifa. And she's like, "Oh my god, that's so sexist. Why? This game sounds horrible."
Doesn't she have a director's dick to go suck or something?
She is the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, and she couldn't get any gigs because she sucked at acting, and then she blamed that on racism.
Why am I not surprised? But yeah,
the Kamala Harris of Hollywood. So yeah, she probably does like a couple of dicks here and there.
that made a film I don't know, honey. I don't know. You ever see that fucking commercial, the pop rock commercial? He's
Oh, and
like,
then like she puts like
you,
the pop rocks in her mouth and sucks his dick, and then he gives her an A.
yeah. I feel like that was how she got that role. You're just gonna shut up and be sexy.
Dude, Catwoman
Shut
should
the
just have no dialogue, just only like make like a cat sound, and that's it. And she like points everywhere. She should act like a cat, where she'll like look at you, look back, and then like run away somewhere, and then you just kind of have to follow her. That's it. That'd be a perfect Catwoman. Because whenever they tell us
I
what they
like you better
want,
when you don't. Huh?
whenever a woman tells us what they want, it's always going to be the same. It's the same thing as if they just pointed somewhere and be as vague as possible.
Yeah, communication is definitely an issue with modern relationships. I feel that people should talk more and be
Yeah, no, the
really
man should
honest
talk
about
more,
what
but
they
the woman
want.
should talk less.
I think that depends. Sometimes both parties talk a little too much. You know, you gotta remember, men today. You know, there are a lot of challenges with masculinity, and it's not always the fault of men. But you gotta admit that they do be lacking in several ways. They kind of do be lacking for multitude of reasons, but they kind of suck. You know, modern people suck just in general.
No, totally. And I think it's because men are trying to act like women, and women are trying to act like men. They're trying to switch the roles, and neither one knows how to fit the other person's role.
Uh, in some areas, yeah, I guess so.
Some areas. Okay. Whatever.
I'm not gonna say it in like every area because in some areas
I know.
it's like a purely masculine or feminine thing. You know, like being very hedonistic. You know, that tends to be gender neutral with people who are just greedy. You
You know
know,
what
they
it
want to
is?
have
We have the same
yeah.
goals and desires and all the other stuff. It's just that how we approach it is differently. Because down to our very core, we have a different approach to things. Like men have to fuck something, and then women have to be fucked by something, right?
I I
And that
guess
very basic, that very core thing is what makes us approach things completely differently.
I guess yeah.
And then it's like where the woman has to take care of the child. The man just looks out for like another woman to impregnate. He doesn't even care about impregnating them. He just wants to fuck something, you know.
Yeah.
That's why men are
If
always
you
mixing like between pillows or making cat hair burritos or whatever the heck that we do.
the fuck is a cat? You know, I don't want to know what that is. I don't want to know
Microwave it for
what
10
that is.
seconds feels like feels like a pussy.
Why go through all of that when there are so many other alternatives that are much more easily accessed out there?
Listen, it's a 99-cent store version. Okay, it's like the poor man's alternative.
Yeah, but even a poor man can, go on Amazon and get like a $10 fucking
$10?
thing.
$10 is $10. Some people don't have $10. All right, you're being very ableist here. You're very classist.
I'm not being
Talking
fucking
about
ableist.
$10.
Listen, if you can't afford a
Internet,
fucking
that costs
$10
money.
pocket
Computer,
pussy,
that costs
you
money.
don't deserve to get off. You don't deserve it. Go fucking work.
Some people are homeless
Fucking.
out there trying to make ends meet.
I feel like if you're homeless, you got bigger issues to worry about than
They're getting your rocks
luxury
off.
masturbation. Yeah, I think you have bigger things to worry about, like finding a house, finding a job, things like that. You know what I mean?
If you're homeless, your best choice is to say to somebody else who's homeless that you have like some crack or some crystal meth, and they'll suck your dick right there. And then you go, haha, just kidding. And then you run away as fast as you can.
Yeah, you don't know if that person has AIDS.
It's worth it. All right.
So no.
You
No,
gotta
it's
break
not
a
worth
couple omelets to make some eggs. All right.
What? You said it backwards. You gotta break some eggs to make it. Fuck you, man. Fuck, that doesn't even fucking sound right now. Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Like, yeah, I don't even understand. That's a communist phrase, right? That's something Joseph Stalin said, correct? I think so.
I don't know.
I think he
It
said
would
that.
be funny if like the quote came from like somebody famous, like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
to
kill
eat fried
some
chicken, you gotta
Confederates
swallow
to
some
make an omelet.
bones.
What?
To eat fried chicken, you gotta swallow some bones. You know.
You don't have to swallow bone to eat fried chicken. You're not supposed to do that. That's bad for you. I feel like we're getting way off topic from
We
what
are.
we started.
We're way out topic. We're trying to talk about trends, but oh, I was asking you about like trends that you liked from when you were younger. You're saying Terminator. That's something that really inspired you,
Yeah,
or at least that you liked.
explosions. Yeah, explosions, guns.
I love
Just
the stop
explosions.
motion of it. How they were trying to make like the robot move.
Yeah, I felt that was
It
was
was stop
impressive.
motion
I
instead
liked
of
it.
CGI. You actually see it on screen instead of having somebody else draw it and then like kind of try to put it on screen. Like that's why that scene in Alien where who was it? Ripley, she's like about to be eaten by the alien and like you see the tiny mouth comes out. Like you actually see it there on the screen instead of a CGI
Yeah,
thing. You feel the fear in it. You can see the slime on it. You can feel the steam coming around it.
yeah, that film was awesome. I love the effects there.
Some
Just the
movies
whole
still do
story
that.
behind that film.
I can't remember what
Oh
movies
yeah,
have been doing practical effects other than Mad Max Fury Road, but what's another one that did practical effects other than CGI?
I can't really think of it.
Did you see that CGI scene from Black Widow where it's like some girl, she's like up on a tower and then CGI behind her it looks like the clouds from like a weather channel. It like, you can see like the outline of her body like in the blue screen.
I did watch that film in theaters, but I wasn't paying attention to the background. I was just,
Oh my god! Like everything CGI looked so
ugh.
horrible in that movie. It looked like it was really low budget, but then that movie was like millions of dollars. So somebody messed up somewhere.
That film pissed me off personally.
I didn't care for it.
No, I
Anytime
was
Scarlett
kind of.
Johansson,
I feel like Lucy was okay. I like that film, kind of.
I thought that movie was so stupid.
I thought it kind of was dumb, but I can kind of get with it.
It was
I
an
liked
interesting
some of the
idea,
things. Yeah,
and then like halfway through, it just completely it flew off the rails. It just didn't know what to do, and then it had didn't Lucy become like that was just Akira. That was like Akira with a woman.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me. That fucking what's it called? Ghost in the Shell film. That fucking pissed me off. That was shit. Fucking movie.
I thought
That was
some
shit.
parts of it were cool, but the majority of it was just so boring, and it was forcing the plot into itself. It didn't have the plot flow. It was trying to force it into itself, right?
Yeah,
So
I
like,
think.
scene to scene, sure,
Yeah.
but the scenes didn't really connect with each other, and they tried to make it all look cool and try to make it like I don't know, just a big mess.
It was a big mess. The general rule of thumb is if you have something made for a specific medium, especially something as intense as anime or video games, you shouldn't try to make that into like a live action thing. It's just not going to happen.
At least it was better
I
than Dragon Ball Z Evolution, and we had to be thankful for that.
I feel like they worked harder on Dragon Ball Evolution than they did
Avatar, The
Ghost
Last
in the Shell.
Airbender with M. Night Shyamalan.
I feel they worked hard on that film because there was some they tried in that film. You could tell that they very much tried. I think Zuko was cast very well. That guy with a fiery temper is Indian, definitely. I wonder if M. Night saw himself as Zuko, so he's like, I gotta get an Indian brother in here.
Indian representation, as if they don't have enough in Bollywood.
Bollywood is amazing. I remember I saw this film a couple years back called 13. I like that movie. It began with this wedding. Yeah, it began with this wedding where this dude is like, marrying off his brother, and he's like, we gathered here today to celebrate the life and mourn the passing of this young man right here. Yeah, it was on Netflix.
There was this one Indian movie I was watching on Netflix, and it went like as far as it can go into like the zany area. Like, dude, like you cannot keep track of this fucking plot. If you tried, it starts off with like a money heist, and then it goes from money heist all the way to like where like this guy that you follow throughout the whole movie is like some king of like some kingdom.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you make that connection with a movie like that? It's like an action movie the whole way through. There's people with like Gatling guns shooting at like apartment buildings. Like people are flying around every time he punches them. Like you know how it is in Bollywood movies, where like the guy is like super cool, super good at fighting, and like nobody can stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that throughout the whole movie. But then somehow this guy who's like super powerful, he also ends up being like this king of like this kingdom, and he ends up in the middle of nowhere. He's like fighting tanks and stuff. Like he fights everything.
Damn, that sounds like a whole.
And they have a movie. What is it called? They have like a music number in the middle of it. Like the guy meets his girl in like this club, and they start singing to each other.
That sounds romantic.
Movie. I'll find it later, but that one's like enchanting. Like if you watch it, you'll get sucked into it, and you'll love every second of it because of how ridiculous it is.
Well, we went really off topic there.
No, we're talking about trends because Bollywood's a trend right now. But I guess one big trend right now is Korean dramas. I think that's gonna die out soon.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Really? It's all over Netflix. Not really in movies, but in shows. It's all over the shows. So, a couple years ago, we had the whole Disney Marvel movies come out, and then we had in other departments. I think we had Game of Thrones as a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like really into that like Game of Thrones style, where it's like all these characters are dying, and you don't know who's going to survive, right?
Yeah.
And then in Korean shows and Korean dramas, like in Train to Busan, they had all these main characters. You didn't know who's going to survive. So that's like following that trend of like, you don't know who's going to live.
Wait, hold on a second.
Oh, and then I was going to say that in Walking Dead, they did the same thing where you don't know who's going to live or not. And I guess that's what people want these days. They don't know who's going to die, who's going to live. So it's like similar to the Terminator thing you were talking about, where you have all these characters, you don't know who's going to live. It's like a slasher, right?
Well, I mean, there were tropes in that film, but Terminator wasn't your typical slasher. It had elements of that slasher, but it was a more realistic film, you know? Because it was cyborgs, androids, none of that paranormal bullshit. It was a horror film, but it was a more modern, more realistic type of horror film. You know, more surreal. But it wasn't.
There was mindless violence. It had like a deeper plot to it and all that.
Yeah. It knew how to do its job, so to speak, and I think Americans were...
So the movie was inspired by Halloween, and James Cameron, he wanted to use that as a launch pad to write a slasher-style film. So it's like if James Cameron wrote Halloween, but put robots and stuff in it instead.
I could definitely see that. It didn't feel like Halloween, though.
It didn't feel like it at all. No, not at all. Like, that's what's so
good
about it.
It was its own thing.
And that's why the second one, it went from that slasher style to the robot being the savior.
And that sucked. I hated that. Just know in general, I'm not a huge fan of sequels. So, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like Terminator 2, and I'm not knocking it for that. I just kind of think what made the first movie stand out kind of got
totally, because the robot's supposed to be evil. Out. And then in the second one, they're like, let's make the robot good, because that trend was following E.T. of all things. It was following like kid and their alien, kid and their dog, kid and their dolphin, right? But then this one was kid and their robot from the future.
Yeah, it was like watching like a fucking one of those shitty escort missions, but in a film. Like you can't really enjoy the action because there's like a kid and he's oh, you gotta save the kid, and there's a fucking psychotic robot, and they always get away. It's fucking annoying. And then they made the third movie where they kind of went back to the roots of it, but then they kind of multiplied it by 100. Yeah, let's just blow everything up.
Are you saying you like the third movie more?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get shit for that, but yeah.
No, because I can see where you're coming from with that. Like, you like the idea of a robot blowing that stuff up and a lot of danger coming from it.
Yeah, I remember there's a stupid scene though where he's coming out of the what's their name, Terracotta's grave, and he's carrying all these fucking machine guns. And he's shooting at all these cops, and maybe I'm remembering this scene wrong, but he doesn't even kill a single one of them, which is dumb.
Was he not allowed to kill the cop?
I mean, yeah, he's not supposed to be killing humans, but
that's why
they're all shooting at
humans. I know what you mean, though. It's like you see all these bullets flying, and like none of them hit the humans by accident, even.
Yeah.
Did you ever see? Oh, did you like the Predator movies or not really?
I liked the first one. I think the second one was good too. Predators was okay, and then the newest one. It was bad. It was horrible. It destroyed the lore. It was so bad.
That's a shame.
It made me very angry, especially since Shane Block was in the original Predator film. You'd think he'd know what made the movie good, but he's like, nah, fuck it.
I feel like he has good ideas, but he doesn't know how to apply them. And then he needs somebody to tell him, let's not go this way, let's go some other way. And he needs a wrangler, like a retard wrangler.
Yeah, you needed someone to do this. Like, yeah, Shane, this whole autism isn't a superpower. Okay, so let's just not make that a plot point.
What made him think that was a good idea? Especially nowadays when he could get canceled for that. The superpowered autismo that can. Well, what did he do? He was able to like use.
He can control the fucking helmet. He can control the spaceship, and they're like. Turns out the Predators are just like fucking kidnapping people and splicing their DNA and shit. And they're like, yeah, this is what's gonna make us stronger. We're gonna kill all the humans. Yeah. There's like, yeah, it's a stupid plot where the Earth is gonna be destroyed by climate change of all things, and it's like, yeah, we need to hunt them oh, we need to kill all the humans before the fucking sun does. We need to take their DNA. We need to take all the autismos. We need to fucking merge them with ourselves, and we can become fucking super powered. It's gonna be fucking lit. It's gonna be awesome. Let's do it, yeah. And I don't know where he got that idea from.
He probably got it from Jimmy Neutron.
I can see that. There's definitely some Jimmy Neutron.
And he's like, look, they had the parents taken away. No, we're going to have the boy genius be autistic. He has a superpowered mind, and he has a predator canine. Predatorial.
Yeah, he has a predator dog that is just okay with all of them for some reason. It didn't feel like a Predator film. It felt like, I don't know, it's just these things that it's trying to be like Deadpool kind of.
It's nothing. It's a complete waste.
Yeah, it's like all the inappropriate fucking middle school jokes that feels like a middle schooler wrote them. And it's just weird comedy. You know, everybody's friends, whatever. And meanwhile, people are getting their fucking guts torn out. People getting blown up. You know, yeah, we're just laughing at that 5 seconds ago, but I'm dead now. You know, it
reminds me of those buddy cop films, like the humor they would have in those.
Yeah,
like it's like a whole bunch of buddy cops, and you don't know who's gonna die.
I feel like you're kind of obsessed with not knowing who's gonna die.
No, but that's the trend, though. Like, that's the thing.
That's called suspense, dude. That is in every single movie. Where people die, of course, but it's like that's not like a trend. That's just like trope, maybe, like at best.
Maybe consider it a trope, but I'm saying like the trend that was happening between like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, all these Korean shows, like the new one that came out, Squid Games. I almost said Squidbillies. Squid Games. There's another one called All of Us Are Dead, where it's like a high school, and then there's all these zombies in like a Korean high school.
I don't watch Korean TV.
No, I'm just explaining it. Like, this is the trope, this is the trend that they're doing right now, where they have all these characters, they all look like a main character, or at least most of them feel like it, and then you're not supposed to know who will die and who will win, or, who will survive. And then when that's somebody who feels like you put a lot of time into them, and then they die, you're like, oh no, this person died, and they're one of my favorites. And they think that that's going to keep people paying attention,
process of elimination is gradually taking people off. Maybe I haven't seen it as like a trend. I think that's just like a thing that a lot of shows have had. But Squid Game and Game of Thrones are like they're very different shows.
I know they're different shows. I'm just saying it's this corporate thing where they focus on this specific aspect of it, and then they think that's gonna sell it. And then a lot of times they fuck it up.
I would definitely say Game of Thrones fucked it up.
I never actually watched Game of Thrones. I just know so much of it from like other things.
Yeah, because you watch YouTube videos about it.
I'll watch YouTube. No, I don't even watch YouTube videos about it. It's like, South Park made fun of it. I guess there are some. I watched a video on the ending of it. I'm like, I'm not surprised they fucked it up, Like, everyone says, like, the last season was really terrible. It's like, yeah, of course it's going to be. Because they don't have a source for it. They're not basing it off on anything. They had to go off their own thing. And all their stuff was, like, the things that the people who made the show were good at was trying to keep people interested. But they don't know how to end something.
Yeah.
I know that makes sense. It's like somebody who they're able to make like a very long speech and everyone's like all inspired, but they don't know how to end it. And they just go, that's it. Okay, bye.